What is up, my frosty brethren? My name is Arctic, and today I want to bring you guys a Destiny gameplay talking about the improvements or quality of life that I feel like Destiny needs to take into 2016 and possibly for Destiny 2 going forward. So, there's a lot of things that on this list. Some of them are much larger, which is why I said Destiny 2, and some of them are much smaller. Again, quality of life types of things. So the very first one, as you guys would expect, is Crucible related. It has to do with my experience in the Crucible up to this point, a year and a half in, and some of the things that I've noticed with the game. Now, internet connections in general, for every game that I play, there's always lag. There's always these things that make the experience not enjoyable when it comes to how games kind of connect people together. Most of them sacrifice the time for the quality of each player's connection. So you get really quick matches, but that doesn't necessarily mean everyone is going to be super green bar or whatever, or low ping servers. So that's something that I think definitely needs to be improved for Destiny going forward, because there's been I'd say the optimal experience that I've had in this game was during the very first Trials of Osiris, when they explicitly stated that they were focused on making the internet connections, the connections between players, as good of an experience as they possibly could. And during that time frame, I experienced the least amount of lag and latency issues and connection issues with other players over the entire history of that I've played Destiny. Was that one slice during the summer of 2015 when they were like, you know what, we're going to prioritize internet quality for Trials of Osiris, and it was great. Trials, the second one, they decided to go skill based. There was way more lag, way more matches where I was not happy with the quality of matches that I got. And just over the course of the game, Iron Banner or just regular Crucible, there's been way too many matches where there's someone that should not be in that match, or several people that should not be in that match, and they're just lagging around, making the experience really awful for everyone in that game. And it just happens at a frequency that is much too often in this day and age, especially considering they decided to go with peer-to-peer instead of dedicated servers. All these different things that kind of culminated into me not enjoying the internet quality for this game. It's certainly been something that has been bothering me. Next up in Crucible is the map rotation. I have never played so many maps in a row than I have in Destiny. I take that back. There is one game where players got the opportunity to vote, and that was the original Black Ops. I played Nuketown like 10 times in a row when they had the voting system in place, and that's all people played. It was Nuketown. You load up in a match, you play Nuketown. I felt the exact same way with the random map selection, quote unquote, random map selection that Destiny has. I played some of the Bastion, I played 8 times in a row. First Light, I played 9 times in a row on stream. 9 times in a row. And it's just like, I don't understand how that is remotely possible. For something where players are not voting on it. It's supposed to be random, and I know there's more than 1 or 2 maps in the game. So the map rotation in Destiny really needs to improve in 2016. It really needs to improve for Destiny 2, whether that be a voting mechanic that they use or just straight up a better algorithm to choose matches. That is something that I feel like really needs to get nipped in the bud, because I don't want to play the same map 9 times in a row in any situation ever. No. So that really sucked for me. Next one is, this is kind of a selfish one. More Crucible Rewards. And look, this one is getting better. It is getting better and better and better as time goes on. I still feel like it's not in the best spot that it could be. And maybe it's because I have several thousand matches under my belt, but for the amount of time that I spent in Crucible versus the rewards that I've gotten, it just doesn't quite add up. So that, I'm making it sound like it is close. It's not close to adding up to where I think it should be, but it could get a lot better. So that's one that I think could be tweaked, and that's probably just a numbers thing. Now the next one, this one is really mind-boggling to me, considering especially the route that Bungie has taken with Destiny in the past 6 months, going to this events-based model, introducing emotes, introducing microtransactions. How is there not weapon shaders at this point in time? How How on earth are there not weapon shaders in this game? That is one that I feel like they're just missing out on this, like, give me some extra money in my pocket opportunity. And I know weapon shaders have been a thing that people have been asking for like maybe a year or so, maybe longer than that, since the game has been released. I feel like that's a thing that people kind of expected, and it just hasn't been introduced yet. And I'm not exactly sure why, if they feel like it's a clarity thing or whatever the case may be. Weapon shaders just need to be a thing already. And I would be super surprised if they don't introduce it in 2016, considering the route that they're going. But weapon shaders is just, I just don't understand it. I want to. We're in a first-person game. The only thing I ever get to see are my arms and my weapons, and occasionally when I taunt or when we're in the tower, I get to look at myself. But other than that, I mean, I just don't. I don't get it. So weapon shaders is one definitely on my list as something that not necessarily improve like the quality of the game. I just think it would make it a better experience for people that want to be more immersed or more attached to their character. The next one, and this one bothers me. This one just straight up bothers me, and this is something that I think went back to, you know, how people kind of looked at the story and looked at the interconnectivity of the game, and it feels really disconnected. And this is something that is an element that adds to that disconnected feeling to me. So they have all these, you know, you can go in, you get in the game, there's a mission for it. The very first thing, to get your ship. You get your ship, right? But you can't actually fly your ship. You can't do shit with your ship. It just is, it's basically a loading screen. Your ship is a loading screen. And on the loading screen, you can't even fly the ship. You can't even move it. You can't do anything with the ship. You just get to look at the ship. That's the only thing you get to do, is look at the ship. I would love, whether it be in some type of update or Destiny 2, to actually be able to fly my ship. That is something that I would really love to do. And again, it adds to this disconnected feeling of the game where you go between one region and then you fly in some wormhole to another region, and you don't actually fly. You go through a loading screen to another region or planet or whatever in this game. So, you know, letting me actually fly from planet to planet, whether that could be on the top menu screen when you get to select where your actual cursor is, where you actually select the places that you go to. If it was like a 2D Armada style thing where I'm actually flying my ship, it's like this little speck and I get to go in between planets, that would be better than letting me watch it in a loading screen. So that's something I feel like would be much better experience, more immersive, actually makes me feel attached to the ship, and will make me want to collect the ships a little bit more so, kind of like Sparrows. But I feel like that is a missed opportunity. And just throw like a sandbox environment where I get to just fly my ship around. That would be better than not being able to fly, just staring at it. That would be better than staring at it. So that's something that I feel like really needs to happen going forward, just from an immersion standpoint. Again, this is not necessarily improving the game, but from an immersion standpoint, I think it does add a better quality of life for players involved. And then the next one is like this disconnected feel. I just mentioned it before, but the game feels really disconnected, and it doesn't feel as big as it possibly could. And a great example of this for me is the tower. The tower is this place where you do all of your activities, but it is so condensed. You're talking to 4 or 5 people every time you log in this little itty bitty tiny area. And you think about some of the environments that they have in the game, and it's very, I would say, very large scale environments and planets. And when you go back to your home base on the very last city, you get such a very small slice of that city to actually explore. So some of those areas need to be blown up and, you know, a lot bigger. And I think it would add to that immersive, deep feeling that you would kind of get if it was, let's say, a real true MMO. It's kind of like this weird hybrid, right? So, you know, some of those things I think would make the game feel a little bit better. And I would love to see what comments you guys have about what improvements Destiny could make going forward. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you've not already, and until the next time, folks, I will catch you all later. Stay frosty.
If you like this video, you should probably click on the one down below. That'll take you to another video. You may like it. A little bit about me. I'm a former pro player. I play PC and console, mostly shooters. I also have a gaming podcast. I do tips and tactics, live gameplays. Check out my Twitch. Also, I work in the industry. Why are you not subscribed?